Hi, my name is Olga, and today I'm going to tell you mind-blowing facts about Ukrainian history. When you hear the word Ukraine, you can picture a beautiful country with a very rich and ancient history dating back to the 6th century BC, when the modern territory of Ukraine had been inhabited by the Scythians. You can envision a vast steppe or prairies stretching across the central and southern parts of Ukraine. You see beautiful Carpathian mountains in the west, rugged with thick pine woods and jagged with clear, ice-cold rivers. Today I want to tell you about historical events which have made Ukraine what it is now. Ukrainian civilization dates back to 4800 BC. Ukraine was the land for Trypillian civilization. And in the 7th century BC, the Scythians actively traded with China, Persia, Egypt and Greece. Slavic tribes occupied modern central and eastern Ukraine in the 6th century and played a key role in the establishment of Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. Founding of Kiev is considered to be the beginning of Ukrainian history. Kiev quickly prospered as the center of powerful state of Kievan Rus. Ki, the legendary prince of Slavic tribes, the founder of Kiev, brothers Ki, Shek, Hariv and their sister Libid are founders of Kiev. They lived on 3 mountains, which were named after them. The river next to it was named after their sister Libid. Ukraine became officially Christian under the rule of the Grand Prince Vladimir, who was seeking a state religion that would unite his people and converted the population of Kievan Rus into Christianity in 988. Kievan Rus was a major power in Eastern Europe during the 9th, 11th centuries. Feudal conflicts had to decline of the state in the 12th century. Later, it was conquered by Mongol raiders. Ukraine had ties with Western Europe 1,000 years ago. The daughter of Grand Prince Yaro, Anna, became the Queen of France in 1051. She was married to the French King Henry I. Anna was highly educated and introduced Eastern culture to the Franks, paving the way for the relationship between medieval Ukraine and Western Europe for centuries. The National University of Ostroh Academy is the first university in Eastern Europe. It was set up in 1576. Some researchers claim that the world's first constitution was drafted and introduced in 1710 by Ukrainian Hetman Pylyp Orlyk. The document established 3 branches of government and legally underscored the importance of equality and human rights of citizens under Cossacks' rule, including a guarantee for free elections. Orlyk's constitution predates the United States Declaration of Independence by 77 years. Ukrainians were subject to one of the worst genocides in history. 10 million Ukrainians were killed when they were denied food between the 1932 and 33. The act, which is widely considered to be genocide on the part of the Soviet Union, is known as the Holodomor. Entire villages where Ukrainians had died were repopulated by ethnic Russians in order to create ethnic homogeneity in the Soviet Union. In the World War II, the number of losses of Ukraine were up to 15 million people. Roughly 1 out of every 5 Ukrainians died. Kiev boasts the hero city status, which was conferred by the Soviet Union in honor of its fierce resistance to the Nazis in 1941. The Germans surrounded the city in what became known as the Battle of Kiev. And Stalin, Churchill and Roosevelt met at the Yalta conference in 1945, which was hosted by Ukraine. The meeting was aimed at charting the borders of the post-war Europe. The venue, Livadia Palace, is now a museum. It is situated near Yalta, on the disputed Crimean Peninsula, annexed by Russia in 2014. Ukraine witnessed the world's worst nuclear power plant disaster. The tragedy occurred at the Chernobyl power plant. The area has since been declared an exclusion zone. This led to the emergence of several ghost towns, most notably Pripyat. The area attracts multitudes of tourists from all over the world. Ukraine gained independence from the Soviet Union in 1991, but the government faced many difficulties in uniting the country and rebuilding the economy. 25 years ago, Ukraine possessed the world's third largest nuclear arsenal, with more warheads than the United Kingdom, France, and China combined. The government in Kiev inherited this arsenal after the breakup of the Soviet Union. In 1984, Ukraine agreed to dismantle this stockpile in return for a promise from Russia that the country wouldn't be attacked. The Orange Revolution in 2004 brought many Ukrainian people on the streets of Kiev to protest over the results of the political elections. 2014 February, security forces killed protesters in Kiev, and President Yanukovych fled to Russia. Russian forces annexed Crimea, pumping biggest East-West showdown since Cold War. Pro-Russian armed groups seized parts of Donetsk and Lugansk regions on the Russian border. Ukrainian government launched military operation in response. Ukraine's national anthem is titled "Ukraine Has Not Perished Yet." So we hope that the prosperity and peace will come to our land.
Здравствуй.